I just got scammed out of $1,000 and I don't want this to happen to you guys, so listen up.
Hey guys, I want to tell you this quick story about how I lost my entire life savings to a scammer.
I know I'm right here crying, but that's because I just got scammed out of $4,000.
I don't think scams will ever be extinct. There's always going to be people out there trying to scam you. I'm going to highlight a couple scams in this video because the only way to fight against it is to spread the word so others won't fall victim. So share this video with somebody you know and help spread the word. Now let's get into the first one.
So this week I had $14,000 stolen from my bank account, and this is how. The other day I get a text from my sister and she's like, you should really check your bank account because me and mom both had huge sums of money taken out of our account and we didn't do it. So I check and my account is almost empty. It's basically completely drained. And so obviously I panic. I call TD Bank and they're like, oh, we can't really talk to you. We have to talk to this other person who is listed on your account. That person is my mom. Why they can't talk to me? I don't know. It's my money, but sure. So I call my mom. She's actually at TD Bank talking to them about her account. And we're going through this huge runaround of what happened, trying to get to the bottom of it. Obviously I'm panicking that money is just gone. As it turns out, TD Bank was able to check the address of where the transfer was made, and it goes back to somebody at a warehouse in Oregon. So my mom is on my account, from way back when I started the account, and your parent was on it. I just never took her off of it. So mom had a virus or something on her computer. This person accessed my account from her computer, transferred money from my account to her account within the same bank, same thing with my sister, and then transferred the money from my mom's account that they took from us out of her account. And it wasn't flagged because it was within the same bank, and it just looked like my mom was making these transfers. And the bank did ask, have you talked to this lady? Do you know what's going on? And I was like, it did cross my mind. But no, my mom and I are close. I'm just joking. It wasn't her. Unfortunately, my parents were able to go to the bank, get this resolved, and since the money that was taken hadn't left the bank yet, they were able to just cancel our accounts and then put the money back into my mom's account, and she's writing me a check for the portion that was taken from me. But what I am trying to tell people is be careful who you have on your accounts. If there's someone on your account that doesn't really need to be, did I need my mom still on my account? I'm a 32-year-old woman. I'm about to have a baby. No, she doesn't need to be on it. Should I have taken her off? Yeah, probably. Did she tell me you should really take me off this account? Yeah, 100 times. I just didn't get around to it. But you should take people off your accounts if they don't need to be there, because any of their security problems can become your security problems. And I was very fortunate to get all of the money back, but there were a few hours there where I was like, all of this money that I worked so hard for is just gone like this.
Yeah, that's her mom probably got hacked somehow, her computer, clicked on a link she wasn't supposed to, and boom, stuff can happen instantly. So that's why you never click on a link from anybody that you don't know. And if it's coming from your bank or some other business, check the email address, okay? To be double sure, call the business or the bank and ask them did they send the email, because it's better to be safe than sorry. It really is. But no, ma'am, your mother should not be on your bank account still, okay? No, but let's go to the next one.
Hey, TikTok. I know I'm right here crying, but that's because I just got scammed out of $4,000 saying that they was ComEd. And I'm embarrassed, and I don't want to be known as no dumb chick that gets scammed, but I want to warn y'all that people are out here calling off of numbers that go back to automations that sound like ComEd, okay? And they calling saying that they cutting off your stuff if you don't pay right now. And typically I'm smarter than that, to where I don't fall for stupid stuff like that. But they was talking about shutting off the power at my shop, and I need my shop. That's how I eat, right? And so I went and paid at a Walgreens, at a CVS, at a Walmart. Yes, I'm stupid. Why would I go do that? I did it, but I'll tell you more in part 2.
If a business call you and say you have to pay a bill, but they want you to pay a different way than what you've been paying them, why is that not a red flag? It should be. It should be. ComEd, by the way, is, I think, electric company in Chicago, or maybe it's Illinois. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. But if they want you to pay somewhere a different way than what you've been paying, it should be a red flag. It should be a red flag, but she got more.
So now that I've calmed down, I was able to get it together and stop crying. I can walk you through what actually happened. So this morning, about 10:30 in the morning, I get a call saying, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm the technician for ComEd. We are en route to your store. They give me my store address, and we're on our way to cut off the electricity. I'll be honest, I do not have an online portal or link for my shop electricity account. They say that there's a past due balance of $400, like maybe $498, and a $500 fee to get you like kind of reinstated and on the right track. We'll be cutting off your power in 30 minutes unless you go to a Walgreens and send that money. They made sure to tell me that Walgreens only accepts debit cards or cash for this kind of transaction. Here I am, just took my kids to school, on my way to take my husband his lunch at work, and I don't have my debit card on me, so I go to Chase with my ID and withdraw $1,000 cash. Then I went straight to Walgreens. They sent me a barcode that I was under the impression was going to be linking it to my ComEd account. They told me not to mention that I was paying a ComEd bill because I would get charged extra fees for making a payment. If I just said I was uploading money to my account, they would never know. Then I wouldn't get charged those extra fees. So that's what I did.
Come on, man. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as extra fees because you're paying a bill. Whatever fees they have at Western Union where they charge you for doing whatever type of transaction, that's the only fee you have to pay. There's no extra. There's no extra. Come on, man. We can't still be falling for that. Come on.
They stayed on the phone with me that whole time while I did the transaction, and then they had me send them a picture of the receipt. I should have known better. At that point, I'm like, great. My account should be taken off of the shut-off list. And they say, actually, we forgot to tell you about the additional $100 and some odd fee for going through this process. And your original payment won't count toward it because the system only recognizes exact numbers to what, your account needed to be paid up. And your account actually needed to be paid up like almost $1,200. So we still have the technician en route to turn off your power. And so you need to go back to Chase, get more money, and pay it back at now CVS because you've reached the limit for Walgreens. I wish it would have just clicked. Like, that sounds crazy. But it didn't. I was thinking about losing my power and my business.
I can understand that. I can understand being like, man, my business is about to be power turned off. But, I mean, we just got to slow down, all right? And process information and think. But, yeah, once they get you with a scam, they're going to try to come up with more scams they can they can throw at you. Because if you fail for one, you will fall for this one too. So while they got you on the phone, they gonna keep trying and keep trying. So be mindful of that. Let's go to the next one.
So I just got scammed out of $1,000 and I don't want this to happen to you guys. So listen up, especially if you use PayPal or Venmo. A few weeks ago, I got like 50 emails in my personal inbox, which is well above average for a random Thursday. They all seem to be account confirmation emails, like someone who is signing up for random accounts using my email address. I didn't have any other evidence of like fraudulent activity or weird behavior on my accounts, but I kept on getting these like, thank you for signing up for blah, blah, blah account, and like super random stuff too. Like I would get some Cracker Barrel newsletters and then some personal finance guru out of the Netherlands. Like there was no rhyme or reason. I checked all of my accounts at the time, email, bank, PayPal, everything seemed fine. I was just thinking maybe somehow my email got scraped and then a bot was like spammily signing me up for like everything on the internet. So a week goes by and it happens again. On a Thursday morning, I woke up to 200 account sign up confirmation emails. Same process. No other warning signs. That was like sketchy things happening. So I just roll my eyes, delete them, and move on. Cut to today, and I get 500 emails. I'm kind of an inbox zero type of gal. So whenever I see those red badges, let alone like 500 unread messages, I'm like, do a quick Google search and find out that, surprise, surprise, these are warning signs for a scam. Apparently my email account, the one that I used to log in to PayPal, got hacked. And the scammers sign you up for all these accounts so that you can get completely inundated with emails, and you just end up getting frustrated and then deleting everything, which is exactly what I did because I'm a human. Other than scanning through everything and reading everything properly. Had I done so, I would have seen the emails from PayPal when they send you something like a confirmation saying, hey, you just changed your primary email address to this one over here, or FYI, you just added this new phone number. If this isn't you, please contact us. Like, it's a barrage of spam emails, and so the important information about your financial movements gets totally drowned out in the noise. Here's another sketchy thing they did. They've been moving money around my PayPal account for the past 3 days or so, if not more, and then they filed an unauthorized transfer complaint on my behalf. Like, they were like, oh, hey, I suspect I've been hacked. So when I finally realized what was happening today and I tried to file a complaint, the system was like, you have already filed a complaint about these transactions. You can't do it again. You can't do it twice. Luckily, I am extremely obstinate and I hate scammers. So I spent a good part of my day on the line with PayPal and explained the situation. Finally, they're working on it as we speak, and it looks like I will hopefully get my funds refunded or whatever. I freaking hate scammers. If you start to see a bunch of emails in your account, like account signups and like, thank you for creating this account, it's probably hiding something a little more nefarious than your ex, like trying to annoy you by signing you up for Bed Bath & Beyond coupon codes.
Now, she uploaded this video in 2023. I never heard of this. So that's why we need to spread word about this, because, you know, we don't catch on to all of them, but the more we spread, the more we'll get the word out, and the less people will fall victim to these. But I got more. Let's go.
I friended somebody on Facebook who I thought was NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin, and we developed a friendship, and it quickly turned financial, and I thought it was Denny Hamlin, and it became all about my money, and I ended up doing like 6 quantity $500 gift cards, and I was told that he had a briefcase stuck in customs and his documentation to get it inside the United States expired, so I ended up doing a withdrawal on my 401k and killed my IBM 401k. And then it kept being held in customs, and I ended up doing more loans on my other Global Foundries 401k, and I lost like $100,000.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, dude.
Started February of last year, and it started out with like 5 or 6 $500 gift cards, and from there it went to him saying his documentation to get his stuff inside the U.S. expired, and then it went to his bank was dragging his feet, and he needed to have me do another loan, and I just...
How did you send all this money?
It was by a cashier's check. Called the U.S. Secret Service. I called the FBI. I called the state police. I called the Berry police, and you name it, I called it. And one by one, everybody just left me. And my lawyer said that I needed to have a different type of lawyer. And my lawyer was helping me out for quite a while. And then my other lawyer has not really gotten back in touch with me. So,
well, let's.
This is the scam that if I was thinking of a scam, if I was a scammer, and I said, I'm going to pretend to be a famous person that's worth millions upon millions of dollars, and I'm going to tell this individual that I need a $500 gift card. I would be like, erase that, because nobody is going to fall for that. I was like, that is impossible. That is impossible for me to get somebody to think I'm a millionaire and somehow I need to borrow $500 gift cards from them. There's no way somebody's going to fall for that, because first of all, why can't I pay for it? Second of all, don't I know other millionaires? Why I can't ask them? There's no way nobody will fall for that. But they always do. And every time it amazes me. It really amazes me. And I don't understand it. But I got one final one, so let's listen to this one.
Hey guys, I want to tell you this quick story about how I lost my entire life savings to a scammer. This happened after I got laid off from my medical job. A buddy of mine that I was hanging out with at the time was selling hair extensions on eBay and was doing pretty well. So he said, you should definitely get on eBay, find some good products and sell. So I went to Alibaba, and at the time there was only Alibaba. They didn't even come out with AliExpress yet, I don't believe. And I went on there and I found products, and the product I decided to choose was a graphic calculator. And so I found this graphic calculator for about $10 a unit, and in America they were selling it for over $100. So I thought I hit the jackpot. I was like, okay, this is great. There's a $90, $100 profit margin here. So I contacted that guy on the platform, and he sounded like a legit business because he had a business name. Everything was cool. He's coming out of Singapore, and at the time I didn't know how to vet these guys, and I fell. And so he sent me an invoice for $2,500, and he said, yeah, you just have to wire this money over to me, and I'll package up all of these calculators, and I'll send it over to you. Being naive and stupid, at the time I really wanted to pay via a debit card or a credit card because I didn't really want to use my cash. But after a few transactions being declined, he said, just go ahead and send me a wire through Western Union. So I mentioned it to my wife real quick. I said, hey babe, I got a really good opportunity here. We can make a lot of money. And I'm just going to take the rest of our savings and, I'm going to put it towards these calculators. And during that time, she was about 8-9 months pregnant with my son. So she could care less. She said, honey, just do whatever you want to do. Just take all the money we have and just go ahead and put it towards the new business. So the next morning I went out to Western Union right down the street from my house, and I filled out the paperwork. I sent him $2,500, and I was super stoked because, this was our...
Send him how much?
The Western Union right down the street from my house, and I filled out the paperwork. I sent him $2,500, and I was super stoked.
$2,500? Didn't you say the calculators, they was charging $10 a piece? How many calculators did you get? Okay, wait a minute, 250 calculators. Well, I don't know if they was charging for shipping, so it might be a little less if shipping was included in that price, but who are you gonna sell these calculators to? Like, for real, I understand people get into business, and they want to sell things. To buy low off of Alibaba or whatever, sell high. I get it. It's a business. Some people are successful at it. Most people lose money. I'm just telling you, because the products, they're only worth $10. They probably not even worth that. So when people start buying them and realize that they ain't worth nothing, and the word gets spread around, nobody's gonna buy your stuff, and you're gonna have a whole bunch of whatever funky product you bought that's not worth nothing. Nobody's gonna buy never mind. But how you and your wife just, neither one of you had a clear head about this, but first of all, you have to, before you sell anything, you have to figure out who you're going to sell it to. And it has to be a demand for it. Because if you just buying stuff, anything randomly, and trying to sell it, and nobody wants it, your business is going to fail. I can guarantee you that. It's just like if you opened up a mom and pop's grocery store right next to Walmart. For what? Why would you do that? It don't make no sense, because ain't no demand for that mom and pop's grocery store right next to Walmart. It's the same concept. But let's finish. Let's finish.
Because, this was our first business venture, and if I could flip these the way I thought I could flip these, I could just do this all day, every day. So I get back to my house all excited, all giddy. I was like, I'm done working a 9 to 5. I'm just going to sell products on eBay full time. A few days goes by. He doesn't respond except to tell me that he got the money. And every time I emailed him, he's like, yeah, I'm packaging your stuff. It's international. It'll take some time to get. Then about a week into it, I'm getting kind of panicky, and he sends me a tracking number. So with the tracking number, you feel like, yeah, this is great. This is going to work out. Unfortunately for me, weeks goes by, tracking number says in progress, and it never came. So I kept on writing to him, and I told him, I said, hey man, my wife's pregnant with my second child. She's going to be due any day now. I can't afford to lose this. Then he, decides to respond after a good 3 weeks. And he said, hey man, look, you're from America. You guys are going to be just fine. I'm from Singapore, and I'm living in poverty. So, whatever it is, I'm just going to do what I need to do here. And that was the biggest insult and slap in my face. I remember crying, and when I got back to the house, I didn't want to tell my wife about it, but I had to, so I broke down next to her.
Scams are everywhere, okay? Scams are everywhere, and we have to use our instincts, If something feels off to you, look into it further. Check it out. Research it. Call somebody. Ask somebody. I hate scammers, and I hate when they win. So, you probably saw me be upset in this video, and it's not like I'm upset at these people. I'm upset because the scammer won, and I don't like to see them win. So, since I can't take it out on the scammer, I'm going to get frustrated at the person who got scammed. It's just, that's just unfortunate, but, who else am I going to get mad at? I mean, seriously. But thank y'all for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed yourself, all right, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section, have you ever been scammed? I would like to hear your stories. But I'll see y'all on the next one.